Hey there, thanks for watching. This is the next part of a series of videos on web scraping and web crawling. This video is about how to scrape a page that's generated by JavaScript or AJAX. Okay, so here's an example page of an ext application. Okay, if you look at the source, it's some basic HTML, loads a bunch of JavaScript, and there it is, but then you have this fancy page here. So if you look at the actual HTML, okay, that's the generated HTML. Okay, which is not the same as just the basic source of the page. So if you want to scrape this data, then you have to use some special techniques. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is install Selenium server, which is a functional test server used in development. Okay. And that runs on Java. So you need Java runtime, Selenium server 2. Okay, you want to run it by calling java jar selenium server jar. Okay, so I'm just going to run that. Now it's running. You can stop it in Windows at least by hitting Control-C to stop it. Okay. This example uses PHP. If you're using Java, you could just probably get away with JUnit, and then any kind of JUnit Selenium extensions that there are. Okay, but this one's PHP, so you want to install pair, which is a kind of a downloader for PHP. Then you install PHP unit and all its dependencies using pair. Okay, just check out their site for the options for doing that. And install PHP unit Selenium with all its dependencies using pair. Okay, then create a folder called tests. Add an XML file called PHP unit. Okay, you can copy and paste this, put it in there. You want to replace these square brackets with angled brackets. Okay, so that's an example of an angled bracket for that one, and then a less than symbol for the other one. I'm going to use Chrome browser here because it's a bit easier than Firefox. You could also use IE. Okay, in your test folder, create another folder called functional. Add a PHP file called AJAX test. It has to end with the word test, capital T. .php, and you can copy and paste this code. Class AJAX test should be the same as that name. Extends PHP unit extension Selenium test case, which was downloaded here. Okay, and there's a function called setup, call the parent function, and then you set the browser URL to some URL. This can be anything you want. Okay, but I'm going to use that previous page that we just looked at. And then you get a function, got to start with the word test, lowercase, and then anything you want, at least any characters. I'm just going to call it test A. And then we're going to open a page. Okay, so this would be a page on that server. And you got to wait a few seconds for Chrome to render the page fully. Okay, so you might want to adjust that. So that's in milliseconds. So 10,000 would be 10 seconds. And we're going to save the output to a file. Okay, so file put contents is a PHP function to save a file. This is the name of the file. Okay, and then this get HTML source gets the actual generated HTML source from the browser. Okay, and then on your command line, go to your test folder and run PHP unit functional. And that'll run all of the tests in your functional folder, but it's just one for now. Okay, so I've got NetBeans here. It's a PHP editor, but you could use anything you want. So test folder, functional folder, AJAX test. Okay, PHP unit, XML in the tests folder. Okay, and I'm in the tests folder here in my command prompt. I'm going to call PHP functional. Okay, it opens up Chrome, opens up the URL down here, renders it, waits a few seconds, closes it. Okay, and the test is over. There's a new file here called AJAX output HTML. Okay, and this is the HTML of the rendered page. Okay, if you want to view it in your browser, just take a sec. Okay, here's the output. Obviously, it doesn't look like what it looked like before, but all the content's there. Okay, the main problem is that the style sheets are relative URLs. Okay, so copy that. Okay, so the style sheet here is a relative one, so you could write something to fix that, but you don't need the style sheets, you just want the content, right? Okay, so that's slightly better. Still need to fix this feed viewer here. Okay, that's the full URL. Okay. There's probably a couple other things I need to fix there. But anyways, the content of the page is there. Okay, view page source. Okay, that's a full HTML page versus the original, which is a small HTML setup for JavaScript. Okay, and that's it for scraping web pages with AJAX. You might want to, instead of just doing one URL and then saving it in one file, you might want to load a file with a list of URLs, go through them or open them up, wait for it, save the contents to a folder with a unique name, and then loop through that list of files. You could use RapidMiner to generate that list by crawling a site. Okay, thanks a bunch.